Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find links to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. So we've had this strong, powerful move down here overnight, and we were talking about the possibility of this playing out yesterday, and we were talking about that within this move here, we were saying that we could have actually topped in the C wave already, and we could be looking to actually come back and retest the channel line. So um, this is still viable, that we could see an additional fourth wave and a fifth wave to the downside here, and potentially that target range would actually be within this 1534 to this 1518 area, though the one-to-one would actually be lower at this 1499. So if we do get a continuation down here again, and we do find rejection within this zone here of this 1691 to this 1570. So we've already come up into the lower ranges. So the way I'd be looking at this move, I've gone down into smaller time frames, and because we have this move here, which looks like a five-wave move, it does look like we can potentially count this as a one into here. This is a flat, and then looking at this as a third. So this would only be viable if we get something like a zigzag play out here. And if we do get a zigzag play out here, potentially this 1600 area could be an interesting zone. Alternatively, that 382, because this is quite a strong move down here. What I'd be looking for is basically this to form a zigzag like this for a fourth, looking towards that 382 ideally, and then looking for that continuation to the downside and another five-wave move. So we'll have to give it some space. Like I said, we have had this really strong move down here. We might not be able to get up back to these 50% and this 382 range. So this could actually just look to move up into the zone, maybe come back down, retest this, form a double top or something like that, and then actually look to push directly down here. So keep an eye on it. We have met the minimum requirement for this wave 4, so as long as we don't actually move up past this 50% line, then I'd still be looking for that possibility of this additional fourth and fifth wave to the downside. So that's looking at this as a corrective move, looking for this basically from this high as a B, and then potentially a C wave. This could also this could also morph into something more complicated where this becomes a WX and this will become a Y wave where we form a five-wave structure here. We come back up for a three-wave move, then we form another five-wave move, something like this. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that retracement. If we do move down into this 1534 zone and we get a three-wave move that comes back and retests the top of this channel and then basically the bottom of this channel, it is also possible, we could get that continuation to the downside, and then that could be just a more complex move here where this becomes a W and X, and then we get a Y wave here. So the target zone would be much the same. I mean, we've come down enough to meet the criteria if it is a C wave. We've actually come past that 618. So that would be the zone we'd be looking for. We've actually also crossed the A wave high. So, we need to just be a little bit careful this doesn't turn around here because this could be a completed move. Though, really, within the subwave structure here, it looks like it does need more to continue down. So, what we'd be looking for, that one-to-one is lower down here at this 1500 area. So that would also be quite an interesting zone to retest as a psychological level, if we do push down further and this extends out a bit. Obviously, I've worked this off of the 382. If we do move up to this 50% zone, then, that could push this down lower. Alternatively, this wave within here is very difficult to count because of how strong it is. So, we could still have extension in there, and actually we're still within this third wave, and then we get a fourth and a fifth at a later point. So we have to keep an eye on it. For the most part, I would still be looking for a sizable fourth wave here to match up with this wave too. You can potentially argue that this moves a diagonal into here, and then this is a B wave, but internally it counts quite nicely as a five-wave move there. So I'm looking at this rather, this is an A, this is a B, and then this is a C wave to the upside, and then we look to break down. That's the way I'm currently counting on it. It depends what forms within this structure here. If we get something like a triangle or a flat here, then it wouldn't make sense to have two within the same structure. So basically this is the point that I'm looking at for this 1534 to this 1518. Though we need to be careful of that possibility of extension. So Now, what does this mean in the biggest picture? So we were talking about it for quite a while that this could be the fifth wave high, and we could actually be breaking down for this bigger B wave here or wave two, potentially looking to target out these zones here. We also need to be aware that if this fails and we fail to hold this 1192, it becomes more likely that this five wave move is actually the end of a corrective structure and that we could actually look to break down and take out this 1075 zone. So we need to just be a little bit cautious within this area. This will be the key zone of support if we are going to look for that continuation to the upside. This 1448 to this 1192. This zone here is going to be the one that needs to hold if we want to look for a bullish bias within this move to the upside and look for the continuation. So with that being said, we were also talking about a few things yesterday, talking about a bigger five-wave structure. For the most part, it hasn't invalidated. It is becoming less likely now because of the size of this move here, but I will still be keeping an eye on it, looking for that potential for as long as we hold this zone here, this 1461 and this low range here of the 786. We can still potentially argue that we could see a push to the upside, but like I said, it's becoming less and less likely that as time progresses here. And really, unless we start to take these highs, you'd have to take the swing high here at this, what is this, 1677, and then actually get back above this high point here of the 1742 to sort of even continue looking at this. We've actually broken down below this channel support that we've been holding for so long. Um, we are if we did have to, complete our move to the downside here, come back up, retest this, get a rejection again to the downside, then it would be quite a bearish scenario in that case, and we'd be looking for that continuation down then, in my opinion, towards this B wave. This is going to take a while. I don't think this is going to be just a straightforward move down. I think this is probably going to do something like this where we form an A wave. We come back up for a B and then we get a C wave down. It's going to be a little bit more choppy, but we'll have to see how the waves play out. Sometimes the market, well, most of the time, the market will just throw us some curveballs along the way. So try to keep you up to date with that as we can see the moves playing out. So we were talking about, like I said, this move here could technically complete that wave two if we're still looking for that bullish structure, but then you would need to get back above this channel line and get back in here and find support and start to take these highs, like I said. Um, until we actually see that happen, it is becoming more increasingly likely that we're going to lose these lows, but we haven't lost them yet. So for as long as they hold, we can look for that potential. What I am looking out for here, though, is if we do actually get this continuation down and move towards this 1500 level, if we are looking for the possibility of a bigger move to the downside in this B wave, what I'd be looking for within this is basically this to become an A wave, this to look for a B wave retracement, and then look for that continuation to the downside. So I would be looking for something like this where we actually move back up into this zone here of this 1694 to the 1631 area, and then we look at this as an A wave completed, look for that B wave retracement, and then look for that C wave to the downside. That would be the ideal way of doing this move. Though we also need to be aware that we could look to break down in impulsive structures. So we're going to discuss that now. And basically within that idea, we were talking about it previously, and this is quite messy. Apologize, but there's a lot of things. So this is not my preferred count on it, but it could become a viable count if we do move down towards this zone of this 1485 and we get a three-wave retracement back up into this 1579 to this 1527 range and then get another five-wave move down. If that were to play out, then we could start to look at the fact that we could have some extensions within here where this becomes a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then actually would be in the third of the third wave at that point. Then we get an additional fourth wave and continue to push down. I haven't put the target ranges of these yet because basically the idea is that we would have to first move down into this range of this 1485, then see this three-wave retracement, not crossing this low point here, like I said, which was 1557, we wouldn't be able to cross that. So we'd have to have quite a shallow retracement for fourth wave here. So it is throwing, it's putting a little bit of doubt in my mind, unless we get a further extension of within this wave and this moves much lower down here. And then we could look for that potential. The alternative way of looking at it, which is actually a bit neater than looking at it in this way, would be that we could actually potentially have something like this play out. So I've been looking at the internals within this, and we can argue that within this we have an A, a B, and a C as a wave one. Then looking at this move within here, you could look at this again as an ABC into this, then fourth wave, and then another three-wave move. So looking at this as a contracting diagonal. Once again, these are not that reliable, and there's many ways you can count this other than this. So this would have to prove itself. And what I'd be looking at here is basically looking at this as a one and a two, and then looking for that potential to actually drop for this third wave. But this third wave confirmation would only come much lower here at this 1397 range. So we'd have to drop much deeper for this to be viable. And given the current structure, either we'd have to see some direct extension within these waves where we start to break down even more within here, or we'd have to see something like this where we form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'd actually push down into this range. So basically what we need to see is within the structures, if we do get these fourths and fifths down into these zones here of these 1534 to this 1518, that retracement is going to be quite important. If it's just a three-wave move up and we get rejected between the 1644 to the 1677, this could then lead us for another one and a two, and then we actually look to break down much deeper here. So this is going to be a key zone if we do continue to break down here. If we look at this, if we get this fifth wave in, we're going to have to be watching that 50% to that 786 quite well. If we do get that, like I said, if we move up just in a three-wave move here, then I would be looking for that continuation. So whether that continuation turns out to be a bigger five-wave move like this, or like we were talking about previously, it could just be a bigger W, X, and a Y, where this becomes an A, B, and a C. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this structure. We would have a single five-wave move, which could be the completion of an A, B, C pattern, or alternatively, this could become more complex and become a WXY. And then obviously within this case, what we'd be looking out for is when we get this, if we had a five-wave move down complete, this retracement here, if we get a three-wave move up and then we move down to that 1618 of this move here, then that would lead us to potentially have a bigger five-wave move here. So, it's quite a choppy area that we're currently in. So, I mean, if we did move down to this green box area and then move back up into this orange box area, which would be this 1644 to the 1600 area, if we went to that 618, effectively we would have to drop to this 1391 for confirmation. So nothing's confirmed within this, but we're just looking for that potential of that bigger drop to the downside. So, if we did see something like this play out, what I would be looking out for is basically that this would then become an A wave, would look for a B wave to the upside, and then look for that potential to actually come back and retest some of these lower zones. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to be careful within the counts of these, because if we do drop down into the support zone here, we'd have to just be careful that it's not just a more corrective move, and then actually we look to reverse up for the C wave. Yeah, it's going to need to confirm this support zone for us to start getting more bullish. We want to see a move down into here, potentially retesting some of these key zones. Um, 618, for instance, the 30%, 382 rather, is up here at this 1444. This 50% is 1367, 618, 1293, and then the lower range of this we need to hold that 1192. So yeah, we're gonna have to just keep an eye on it. Yeah, if we do carry on to breaking down here, like I said, we could be looking at this extension within here. But we need to also just be a little bit cautious because we really haven't invalidated that push to the upside, but it becomes less likely. So once we cross this 1461, that will throw a big pail of water on that idea. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just have mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also in the description you'll find affiliate links for PrimeXBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out for yourself. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.